What's going on, everybody? Mr. iSnap Studios is here, coming at you with another iSnap interviews. And just to let y'all know, y'all already know I be so busy that I don't be on YouTube like that, but I will be active as often as I possibly can. So just bear with me. Things have been good. Things have been going well. My photography business has been booming like crazy. And speaking of booming like crazy, I have my good friend and my good brother, and a very soulful brother that y'all need to get reacquainted with, Mr. Alan Jay. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Alvin. How about yourself, man? I'm so happy to be here, man. I'm excited. When you told me that, hey, we should do this interview, I'm like, yes, this is going to be such a wonderful thing to do this and just kind of remind people who I am, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. And you know what? It's actually been like such a long time. I remember that we definitely had hit the ground running in our early years. And you know what? It's just good to be able to see you back on the grind, man. And speaking of which, why don't you just go ahead and just tell us and remind us about who you are and how you got involved with music in your life.
Well, just a friendly reminder, my name is Alan Jay. I'm an R&B singer. Pretty much raised in Flint all of my life. And how I got into music is very interesting. It's a very funny story with that. I've always enjoyed singing in general. I've always had fun doing it. But I never really took it to the level that I got it at now until about 5-6 years ago. At this time, I was playing semi-pro football for the Flint Fury. And of course, I started to kind of move away from that once I met Sensational Rock. Shout out to Sensational Rock and LA, shout out to LA as well. When I started being around them more, they're also local artists in the city as well. And Rock actually was shocked. He said, "Hey, you can sing? And what do you think about really making music with us and everything?" And at first I was kind of because I was still doing the football thing, and it was crazy how all of a sudden me in LA, I'll never forget it. Me and him, he helped me write my first song. It's called All Night. I never released it, but that was the beginning of something special that has brought me to the point that I am here today. LA even gave me my name as the whole Alan J moniker. Because we sat up there for hours thinking of a name, like, all right, what's a good artist name? And we just thought about my name, my real name, and just spent it around, and we came up with Alan Jay. And for the last 5-6 years, I've just been doing nothing but writing, and I've loved every second of it, basically. I love R&B. I've always been a fan of it ever since I was younger. I remember the days I used to sit back in my room and listen to Brian McKnight CDs. It's just something about the genre that, especially nowadays, it's kind of one of those genres that, it's kind of fading a little bit, but I want to keep it around, to let people know that, hey, R&B is still a thing, don't forget about it. And then, there's nothing wrong with the more hip-hoppy R&B, because of course I do that too as well.
Yeah, and that's one thing that is very good, that we do have R&B artists like you and Farillo Star and Bree that's out here still performing and putting out the music of R&B, because we have a whole lot of hip-hop artists and rap artists in the scene right now, and they pretty much are dominating, but we don't really have too many R&B artists out here to pretty much show that there is a very big, diversified way to really be involved and in tune with the music scene.
And I couldn't agree more. With you. It's always been something that I've thought about, especially as of recently. I love what Farillo's doing. I've been knowing Farillo for years, even before I got into the scene. And Breela's a relatively new face, and, she's wonderful, very talented. Both of them are just very, very talented. They got me beat on the dancing thing. I gotta give them that one, because I'm not much of a dancer, So I'm gonna have to step my game up with that, but I love what they're doing. And it's just a friendly reminder that just R&B in general, it's not dead. We may not have a lot of it within the city, but it's not dead.
Right, exactly. R&B is not dead, and it's pretty much one of the greatest forms of music that is definitely still going to have its own impact as time goes on. It is pretty much timeless, as one can say. hmm And speaking of timeless, we definitely have to get into the fact that you did kind of take a 3-year hiatus, and yeah, we definitely did miss you on the scene. Obviously, a lot of people who knew your music and knew what you were capable of, they all still recognize you for what you've done, and be able to see you come back after 3 years, it's an amazing scene. So why don't you tell us what took place, what transpired that brought you back into the music scene after these 3 years?
It's a funny story about that. 3 years ago, what happened to me is something that it happens to a lot of artists. It really happens to a lot of artists. And a lot of times what happens is life gets in the way. And I slowly but surely lost my passion to do it. It was a lot of things going on in my life, trying to get myself on track and other things that I was going through, and, possibly switching careers, switching things. I'm like, hey, maybe I should do this instead. And it was a rough time. It was a rough time trying to figure out exactly what is it in life that I'm supposed to do. And you fast forward to just last year. Last year is when I really started to kind of get myself back in the mode, because I missed it. I missed doing it. I missed performing, and a lot of artists can actually say the same thing as far as, with everything with COVID happening. And, a lot of artists I've talked to recently, they just are excited to just be able to perform in front of people again, being able to just share their talents and share their love of the craft and their music with actual people, and I had that same motivation, like, hey, I miss doing this. I miss singing, because I never stopped singing, even though I was on the hiatus, I never stopped singing. I technically never stopped writing. I would still write every now and then, but as far as releasing music, performing, it was just not in me for those 3 years. And I'm just so glad to be back, with my latest single I just released, Meet Me. Got more songs coming out. I'm just so excited to be back and ready to really take it to the next level. And the way things are going now with it, it's definitely getting there. I'm getting there. I wouldn't say I'm up and coming, but then I'm kind of up and coming because I have been around for a minute. But I'm just excited to see where it's going to take me, and just seeing, the fan base grow, for Alan Jay. Very excited about it.
Okay. And I definitely remember that when you had released your song 90s in the Jungle, you kind of had the people really really wanting to hit the flow with you. So you already know, like, you got the magic, you got the flow, you got the ability to pretty much pull people with your music. So that's definitely something I would definitely encourage you to keep on pushing forward. And since you pretty much are continuing to write and continuing to produce, pretty much produce songs, what would you say had transitioned? Like, what would you say had changed over the course of you producing and writing your own songs from then up to right now, getting back into the scene?
Basically, just the level of creativity. Because, when I started 6 years ago, I was kind of dabbling, writing. But the more you do something, that's just anything in life. The more you do something, the better you're going to get at it. And over the years of writing different songs and coming up with different concepts, you get better at putting it together. Even with Meet Me, which, by the way, Meet Me is on all major platforms right now, by the way. With Meet Me, it was one of those songs. It was the first song that I've released since, I think, Ain't No Future. And you remember Ain't No Future. Ain't No Future has been way back. And I can tell the difference as far as how I put that together compared to some of my older songs like the 90s and Jungle and I Just and Ain't No Future. The creativity level has gone up because I've gotten better with writing the songs. And it's crazy because now the ideas are really bouncing off of my head more and more and more than they used to. And the creative process is just flowing. Like I will sit at home and it's just, oh, I got an idea for something. I will play a beat and I will sit with it. I may not have something at that exact moment, but then I kid you not, I'll be laying in the bed getting ready to go to sleep. And then all of a sudden something comes to my head. And it's like, oh no, I don't want to go to sleep yet. Let me write this down so I don't forget. And then it goes from, oh, I'm just going to write this one little verse down or this one little hook down to completely finishing the song. And that's how Meet Me was. Meet Me was one of those songs where when I started it, I just completely did 50% of the song in one day. And then a couple days later, the last 50%, it just came to me. And here we are. And it's a process that, as you get better at it and it goes in time, you just tend to get better at it in general. And I'm very thankful for my growth as far as an artist, and I'm looking forward to what else I come up with. It's very exciting, just seeing it through your own eyes, like seeing your work progressing, because honestly, the other day I went back and I kind of listened to some of the older stuff, and I'm like, Will Smith from The Fresh Prince when he did the, that's kind of how I was a little bit. But I will always be proud of it. But at the same time, hearing that and listening to what I have now shows me that I've come a long way, basically.
Yeah, man, like it's all like that transition and growth from who you were before to what you are doing right now. It actually does show as you continue to like push the work on out there. Like you can pretty much say that who you were like 5 years ago even is nowhere near to who you are right now, because you see exactly where you've matured from. You see exactly where you had improved upon. You see exactly where some things you probably wouldn't have imagined yourself doing or saying or moving, you're actually doing all that right now. Is because you pretty much see yourself as that man. You pretty much see yourself as a more mature stature of yourself from the previous times. And we have to go ahead and get into this, man. Yeah, so obviously you have been promoting, and I had heard the song myself, which I am amazed, and I'm like, this is the Alan Jay that I have been waiting to make his comeback. Dirty Little Secret. So, could you tell us a little about what inspired you to create Dirty Little Secrets? Like, what was the creative process like, and what pushed you to go ahead and create this one?
Al, I'm gonna be honest with you. And me and you never really talked about this, actually. The process with that is quite simple. A lot of my songs are kind of like smooth, the smooth, soulful, nothing too crazy, And I sat down one day and I said to myself, you know what? I need a Tank type of song. I need a Trey Songz type of deal. I need something pretty raunchy a little bit. It don't have to be completely crazy, but just a little raunchiness, to it. And I, came up with the idea for Dirty Little Secrets, and, the song is very interesting because it's an interesting concept with it. Of course, just a heads up, Dirty Little Secrets will be released this coming Friday on all major platforms, by the way. The song's concept has a, basically, hey, a lot of us got dirty little secrets, things that we like to do, wink, wink, So, and I just kind of wrote, and the song just kind of put itself together. And I was amazed. I was very amazed that, wow, like, I wrote this. Like, I was very proud of it. Just all the years of doing this. And it just made me feel like, oh, man, I gotta let people hear this. Like, I literally wrote this song probably a couple weeks ago and recorded it a couple weeks ago. And this is the next song I'm going to release. Because I have that much confidence in the song, it's going to do well and people are going to enjoy it. So I'm definitely looking forward to people hearing the song, And then also just keeping up with everything that there is as far as Alan Jay, you know.
All right, and I can pretty much tell y'all from being able to be one of the first ones to hear it, be prepared because this is a totally different Alan Jay from way back when. So be prepared to listen to it. Make sure that your granny and your children are not in the same room. Please do not have them in there because this is going to be rated R as far as I'm going to say.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a little something, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend certain individuals to hear the song, you know, because it can get a little extra, you know. But that's the beauty of R&B, man. Like R&B stretches to so many different lanes. You know, you got like your inspirational song R&B type of thing, you know, like I did with Ain't No Future, and then you have your smooth type ordeal, kind of like how I did with Jungle and 90s. And then you have your more sensual style, you know, where it's not really raunchy, but it's just sensual, like I did Meet Me, you know. And now you got Dirty Little Secrets, which is kind of on the level of like Trey Songz, Tank, maybe more in the Tank lane. Because Tank, you know, we know how Tank music is. Tank is... He's raunchy, but he's not too raunchy. Trey Songz is different. Trey doesn't care. If you don't know what I mean, you gotta hear Anticipation too. Trey is on a whole another level of raunchiness. But you know, I love R&B. I love all forms of it. It's just I want to be able to make songs in all forms of it to kind of show that, hey, I can do this. I'm not one-dimensional. I'm not in one lane. You know, you might get a little rap singing out of me. You might just get some just sheer to the point singing from me. But at the end of the day, you're going to know that I am an R&B singer. And it doesn't matter what style of R&B it is. I'm ready to go.
All right, and that's exactly what we need to see here and continue to witness all the more over these years, man. So yeah, looking forward to hearing more of your music. Looking forward to every single and albums that you will be making. And speaking of which, how can we be able to find your music and all your projects, and how can we keep up with Mr. Alan Jay himself?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Alvin. So basically, you can find me on Instagram, Alan J SB. You can also find me on Facebook, Alan J as well. Twitter, Alan J91. Pretty much anywhere you stream music, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, SoundCloud, Tidal, Pandora, iHeartRadio, anywhere you stream music whatsoever, you can look me up at Alan J on there as well. And don't forget, my newest single, Dirty Little Secrets, will be released at midnight this Friday, July 23rd. And I'm looking forward to it once again, and I'm excited, and I'm ready to go, Al.
All right, I know you're ready because, yeah, I'm pretty sure you had that itch to go ahead and, like, yeah, after getting yourself into motion, like, yeah, I got that urge. I got to hit the stage. I got to go ahead and hit the radio station. I know you had them urges.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you know what, Al, there's something I want to do, man. Let's make a toast to the upcoming release, shall we?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Definitely, a toast to the upcoming release. And I really enjoyed this time, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, you've always been there for me ever since I met you, and you know, it's an honor and pleasure to be sitting here having this interview with you, man.
Hey, the honor is mine because, you know, you definitely one of the good brothers that I've known over the years. You definitely one of the true brothers who stays true to who you are and what you stand for and walk for. So, yeah, nothing but honors and respect to you, bruh. So, that's it, everybody. This has been another iSnap Interviews with Mr. iSnap Studios himself. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Follow me on YouTube and follow everything that's going to take place because, there's a whole lot going on within the city and around the state and around the world. There's just so much beauty going on, so much fantastic that's going on. So, yeah, continue to just keep your eyes open. This has been Mr. iSnap Studios himself. Y'all take care, be smooth, and peace out.